Yeah, all right, man. What you been dieseling up before the show?
Yeah.
I mean, just drink a coffee.
I mean, if you, it's not a bad idea.
I know. Just I mean, it's a little late in the day for coffee. I mean, I'd like to go to
No.
bed. I mean, I don't know. I don't drink coffee, so I have no
Drink
idea.
coffee every day, every
Yeah,
night.
I know, but really, you drink it at night?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why.
I don't
It's
either,
just
yeah.
part of it.
Okay. I mean, you got me.
How you guys doing, guys?
Good Monday.
Yeah.
And welcome to the show.
That's right.
Hey, it's Car Stereo Talk, the Monday edition. I am your host, Dean. This is the other host, Fernando. Some of you guys might know him. Some of you guys might not. And if you don't, now you do. Today is 1 week and counting. So today is the 9th, as we all know. If we possess a calendar, we'll be here Friday. We'll be here Saturday with the news as well as the Saturday show. And then the 16th. The 16th will be the last show of the year. So next Monday will be the last show of the year before we take our hiatus from the socials. That way we can concentrate on the holiday coming, both Christmas and New Year's back-to-back party weekends.
Christmas is coming?
Yeah, the goose is getting fat. Anyways, so that's the schedule as far as time frame goes. And then, of course, we come back in the new year and we get all set and ready to talk about new products that are coming out, because there's a ton of new products coming out. We'll get Kenwood back in for sponsor of the 12-Volt Clean Wire Club. Speaking of 12-Volt Clean Wire Club, before we get too deep into this, let's head over to the 12-Volt Clean Wire Club. Oh, and look what is on the homepage. So for those of you guys that didn't catch last Saturday's show or the Instagram show that I did not post today because I was not home this weekend, we are running a special on the IRTA. So if you use code STAR, STAR, you're going to get this cool gift pack right here. That is while supplies last. There's only 12 of them, similar to the 12 Days of Christmas, but it has nothing to do with it. Just so happen to have 12. In the gift pack, you are going to get one of several hats that I have to choose from. I have 12 different hats. So someone is going to get this cool Ground Zero hat. These are all brand new hats. Everyone is going to get a polarity tester with the disc. This works off a 9-volt battery. You, of course, are going to get the IRTA 2. You're going to get 2 5-star stickers, one large, one small. I didn't even realize I had these. I dug them out. You're going to get a koozie of some kind. You're going to get the IRTA. You're going to get a keychain. We have a plethora of keychains. So everyone's going to get some form of a keychain. And then you're going to get some air fresheners from Morel. You're going to get some stickers from JVC. You're going to get a lanyard from somebody, not necessarily Kicker. We have a bunch of lanyards. So we're going to just drop those into the box randomly. And then that's what's coming on the IRTA. All of this stuff is coming in your gift pack for the IRTA. This is going to make somebody's wife really happy if they're going to buy this for you, because not only will they get the IRTA tool that you have, as well as they're going to get a ton of stocking stuffers to put into the stocking for you. So
make sure you use the code STAR. Checkout.
Yeah, limited. There's only 12 of these available. So and there's already some that are going to be going out here shortly. So, because some of you took advantage of it over the weekend. Good day, Mr. Smith.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola, senor. Oh, he's in Monterey.
Yeah. That's what I said. I have no idea. I didn't get his itinerary. IRTA 2, says that's Mr. Right. Rios. Mike. So anyways, there's 12 left. You can find them at dndftooldrawr.com. That is D&F, Dean Fernando, tooldrawr.com. No, shirts, maybe, but not stickers. There again, 2025 is a whole nother headache of things that I'm trying not to think about yet. But yeah, stuff like this and all these. The Smash Force will be available. I got crap all over my shirt. I've been sanding and grinding and doing all kinds of crap today, so it's all crazy. Oh, look at that! Hey guys, sitting here building Legos.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
Bro.
And hopefully, in my absence of this, I'll get to build some of the 10,000 sets of Legos I have. That's my plan, amongst other things. I'm on my way back home now in the air watching the show.
Oh.
Look at him using that air Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
I know. All right, let's go back to the top here. Evening, gents. Oh, and by the way, the 12-Volt Clean Wire Club is brought to you by the fine folks at DNF Tool Drawer. You can head over and find dnftooldrawer.com. It's a great place to go to find. Good evening, Brad. It's a great place to go and find some of the cool things that we use in our installation. It's also a great place to go to start your holiday shopping. So if you go to DNF Tool Drawer, peruse through, click on something, and then go off and choose all the things you want from Amazon, it does help the show. Every little bit counts. So if you start at DNF Tool Drawer and then end up on Amazon, which is where you're going to go anyways, it helps us. Therefore, we can keep creating cool content for you.
That's right.
So with that being said, head over to DNF Tool Drawer. And like I said, if you want to take advantage, coupon code is what?
STAR.
That's about as tense as I can get for you. Now, with that in mind,
yes.
Before we get deep, get your questions in now, guys. Start getting your questions in now. Let me do some shout outs here real quick because I said I was going to do that. Happy Monday.
What's up, Craig?
Hello from Vegas. What's up, Fernando? What's up, Dean?
Frank?
Keeper of Time, Fang of Truth. What is happening? And then we'll go, Buenos noches. Hi, guys. Dave, Jody, howdy, peeps. What's up? What's up?
Mike.
Moving down.
Bobby.
We'll go, hello.
Brian.
And then never too late for some coffee. Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, hey,
that's what I'm talking
coffee
about.
24/7. Coffee is a dessert for me. It is for Fernando too.
Same thing.
And then, as we said, there's Bobby. What's up? Hola, everyone from Tornado Alley. Oh man, that was a great movie, by the way. I enjoyed that movie. Twister.
Oh,
so fake,
Twisted,
but it was really fun.
Yeah.
Bobby says ready for the 12 days of Christmas. No, but if everyone wants to buy a IRTA2,
it's 12.
With 12 days.
Full packages.
So once they're there, they're gone. Evening.
David.
Got that. Hey guys, got that one. Hit that like button, people. Rock Party DJ. I like that. That's a cool name. Okay, so with that being said, let's get our quick sponsor up so that we can talk about that. Fernando said, hey, you know what? Instead of us bringing out a product, showing the product, what he thought would be a better idea tonight is let's just stroll over to a website of choice. In this case, we'll take our journey over to Audio Control, who will be our first sponsor of the show. So we'll hit this button here, and we'll put our little guys up here in the corner. And so right when you get to the webpage, they have this cool little thing that just kind of scrolls through and tantalizes your eyeballs with all kinds of neat stuff. So it just scrolled over to a really nice picture of speakers. I wonder if this is CG. They got an awesome CG guy that can do like amazing things with CG, which is pretty crazy. Let's scroll to the next one. We have, this is all fake, by the way. This is an actual real living room. He created this. It was pretty cool. So we'll just keep banging through this. And then, nope, that's definitely a picture because that looks like foam or something. Anyways, you click on the car audio link and then it will drop you into this area here where you can scroll through and find all of the cool things that you're looking for. They're broken into nice little sections. Of course, you have that new Altitude Series amplifier, Epic Series amplifier, but not to be forgotten, we still have these standard power amplifiers with DSP built into them, and we still have DSP. They did discontinue the 6 to 8, and now they reduced the price on the 8 to 10. So if you were like, man, I really 8 to 10 cheaper, which is the way to go. Speakers, the whole 9 yards. So if you head over to Audio Control at audiocontrol.com, you can find some of the cool things that you might want to ask your loved ones for Christmas, right? Who doesn't want that cool stuff for Christmas?
Yes.
I mean, I remember when I got my first amplifier one year for Christmas, it was fantastic. And I immediately went outside to try to put it in, only to find out that it was used and it didn't work. So I was heartbroken. But it ended up working out in the end because I was able to get it fixed and then sell it and buy an Orion 222 SX. That's how long ago it was. Yeah, I know. It was a long time ago. But audiocontrol.com is the place to go. Find some of the Christmas gifts you might be looking for. Yep. Time for the sub tree. Yes, I was actually thinking about this weekend while I was walking around Disney, looking at all the Disney Christmas crap that we were doing. Long day yesterday. Started at 9 o'clock, and I got home at about 2 a.m. last night. So it was a very long Disney day. Very long Disney day. So I am not drinking caffeine, but I am drinking some kind of liquid because
Something in there.
I don't know what it is, but lately I've just really hated the taste of Pure Life. You know, it's just kind of tastes like mud. So I put some crappy squirty stuff in it, and now it just tastes like crappy squirty stuff mud water. So
Okay.
but no, we do need to put the tree up. So hopefully we'll get that up sometime this week. We got a really jam-packed week for us on the outside of things. But go ahead and pull up a question. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My new project is a 2001 F-body. I have sacrificed having a good head unit for looks. Do you think a good DSP amp like the Alpine solves the quality slack keeping OEM speaker architecture? So whether it be an Alpine DSP or anybody's DSP does make things easier. The nice thing is whether if you want to keep, you know, there are some nice single DIN head units out there, and there are some nice like slave units that you can use as head units out there. So there's definitely options to be had as far as that goes. Kenwood and JVC both make a really nice, easy to see in-dash radio. It's in their marine line, actually, believe it or not, because they're still developing for that, because boats all still take a single DIN radio. So that's the place to look if you're looking for a single DIN, is look for the marine radios and don't look for the car ones, because the marine ones are nicer. You can actually see the display screen. And out of the two, JVC, I think, is the nicer one because it's black and it's got more colors. Either way, with that being said, you can also keep in mind if it is a single DIN, you can do a floating screen radio, because like the Sony, the Alpine, the Pioneer, the High 10, now the 12, those are all single DIN radio chassis that pull out to a big screen. The only one that isn't is Kenwood and JVC. So, I mean, there again. Now, if you're just like, no, some of the amplifiers do have Bluetooth dongles available for them, or they come with a Bluetooth dongle, which is nice, and they have a little controller that can be mounted in the front, which is also very nice. But yes, the biggest complaint I have out of all those is the lack of a volume knob or some easy way to turn the volume up and down. Now, audio control does solve that issue with where's the accessories? This piece here, view accessories, which is, where's it at?
The bottom.
Oh, right there. Which was this guy right here. Let me pull this up, which is this guy right here, which is the ACRU. This has an RCA input and RCA output. And what's nice about it is the link between the knob and the unit is, as you just saw, just a standard Cat5 cable, Ethernet or whatever, Ethernet cable. Yeah, it's Ethernet, so you can just go to Home Depot, get a long one. Now, something you could do with that is, since we're like, if we don't want to go Alpine, and we want, like I said, some DSPs have the option to do that, but you could also do this guy right here plugged into it, which is the ACX BT1 plugged into that knob, and mount that right up front in the dash, and you Bluetooth to that and control it from there. So there again, there's lots of options, but yes, that's to answer your question. Yes, it just went too far. It always go too far. Hey guys, I installed the Rockford Fosgate Power T404 AD. Now I have a constant faint beeping like door alarm and humming. Ground loop? That's a good question. Constant faint beeping like door alarm. That is not normal. Okay, there's nothing about that is normal. So no, there should be no beeping. There should be no humming. None of that should exist. There is a fan usually built into the amplifier, but outside of that, there should be no noise going on. So, can you? I would say, yeah. Does it change when you turn the gain down? Other than that, there's something wrong somewhere.
No, definitely.
But that's not normal.
There's no beeping.
There should be none of that. Ground loop, doubtful. Ground loop is typically just ring as you accelerate, not beeping and humming and all of that fun stuff. So,
yeah, but even if the lack of LGDs, that will be no beeping. you know.
No, that would be no beeping, but you do need LGDs if it's a more modern car. So if it's anything like 2015 and up. So what happened is the reason why all these things need LGDs is most of these amplifiers have switched to smart chip amplifiers that are either Class D or AB. The AB ones are generic. They're to even say that is silly, but they need the load.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't get beeping. You would just get the amplifier just wouldn't sound right. The humming, I've never had an LGD or like a factory system like, oh, we forgot to put an LGD. It happens. Do anything other than just be like, oh crap, we need to put that in because the radio shuts off, you know, or we just, you know, the radio shuts off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
would be nice if you can, you know, elaborate a little bit more. Like, where do you get the signal? What kind of car
or something?
Or like what type of stuff that you actually did?
Yeah, give us make, model, and year.
Right. So, all right, Nick, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Just found you guys last week while doing some research for a new audio setup in my 4Runner. Loving the content. Loving the 4Runners. Love doing 4Runners. Dean, what kind of small inline fuse holder should I use for my Epicenter Micro? Just go on Amazon and order one of those like 18 gauge mini fuse holders. Nothing spectacular. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we use. We have a box of them somewhere that we use. Just spoke with you earlier today, Dean, about the Morel Elite Carbon. Oh, yeah, it's the 9-inch. What amp would you recommend? Also need amplification for my rear fill focal coaxials. Well, you have a 3-way set, and now you're adding some rear, so that's 8 channels of amplification. Ideally, if you want to go full, like, yeah, man, I would look at something like the Mosconi 830. Would be like, oh, boy. Outside of the 830, I would either look at the Arc Audio Blackbird or the Mosconi, which is right here, Mosconi 8-10, which is the Pro. Which is the one 8-10. So, which we'll be talking about both of those later in the show. But that'll give you full DSP. The Arc Audio is an 8-12 DSP, so it has 4 outputs, so it'll allow you to do all 8 and then the sub out. The 8-10 only has 2 outputs, which is just output for a sub. Both of them should have enough power to power all those. Is the LCQ1 a good way to connect to a factory radio? Okay, is the LCQ1 the nice one that I like?
Yes, yes, that's the LCQ1. That's the nice one.
It's like, man, sorry, they have
before
two.
The DSP.
Yeah,
right?
they have. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. So the LCQ1, we actually hold on. The LCQ1 is actually right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it right there. And the reason why it's on that display is that display shows the 3 methods or the 3 evolutions of connecting into a factory radio. You have your basic line output converter, in this case is an LC7i, the old faithful LC7i that has just been replaced by the
right here.
I know it's backwards. The LC7i Pro. Then you have the LCQ1, and then you have the DM810. And the idea was, okay, I'm just going to tap into a factory radio. I'm not doing any equalization. I'm not doing anything. It's the bare minimum I can do to get preamp level output. And then we're like, okay, this is going to allow us to do some manipulation of the signal. And then full on, I'm going to go crazy and do everything I want to the signal. So, yes, in the grand scheme of things, it's better than the basic high level to low level, but it's not as good as a DSP. One of the nice things about like an LCQ1, here, I'll take this, is that you don't have to have a laptop. An RTA would still be a good idea, but it's easy enough for anyone to just take a screwdriver, play some music, and make small adjustments. I will say this about the LCQ1. If you go more, like if this is your 0 and you go more than here or more than there, like if you're like, oh, you've done something wrong, because that thing is sensitive as hell. Like if you're like 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, holy Jesus, you got a hole somewhere. There's something else wrong with the car, because it really doesn't need a lot of movement to get a lot of performance out of it. So,
all right, yeah. So here we go. This is our second. The truck is a 2013 Dodge Ram 1500 with the Kenwood DMX 8709S.
Only start once.
Only start when install the 4-channel amplifier. No problem with the Rockford amp and subs. Only after installing the 4-channel amplifier. Okay.
So that doesn't make any sense. Like that's, dude. Bobby's literally sending me a picture of a fuse holder because I told him to go on Amazon and just find a fuse.
That will work.
Yes, Bobby, that's exactly the fuse holder that you want. Perfect. That's perfect. No, none of that should be giving you any noise. Like there should be no noise anywhere, no problems. There's no load resistors. That's a aftermarket radio. RCA's go in, RCA's come out. It doesn't make any sense. None of that makes any sense. There should be no noise.
There should be no noise at all.
So try this. Here's a thought. We need to do some troubleshooting, right? One of the things that we always have in just case of emergency for troubleshooting, and everybody that thinks they're an installer should have something like this in their toolbox. For one, it's a aux jack to RCA's. Like you got to have an aux jack to RCA's. And two, you need to have a cable that goes into your phone to said aux jack. Okay. So if you have a USB-C, you need a USB-C to aux jack. If you have, in this case, we're Lightning guys because we're still not evolved into the new iPhone. So we have a Lightning talk. And the reason why we have this is so that we can plug directly into our amplifier, directly into our phone, and play music from our phone to the amplifier, meaning there's no running through the car. All we're connected to is power ground and speaker output. And even at that point, I can unscrew all my speakers and just put a test speaker on there and see what is happening. So normally you would not have to do any of this. It should all just work. But in a perfect world, this is not a perfect world. There again, you pick something like this up on Amazon, like we always do. But I would do that. I would immediately do that. Like if you brought it in for us and we were like, hey, other than us just tearing it out and starting over, we would do that.
Also, what I would do is I remove all the 4-channel speaker wires from the amplifier, just take them out and just connect one at a time.
Backup beeps weird on a RAM. What interface? Ooh. Melissa, that's a good one. See, because like if it's a Metra interface, you could be getting the beeps from Metra. See, because iData has an outboard speaker that's that. Look at Melissa thinking outside of the box. Yeah, so beep, beep, beep. So okay, so that would be another thing too. But you'd think you'd have those previous, Was it the amplified system? Oh, that's another. I wonder if it's the amplified system in
the Alpine system.
Yeah, but you would have had to have. Because you wouldn't have fader. There wouldn't be enough wires back there. Honestly, this is really the place I would start. Is just try getting a clean signal into it.
It has a radio, right?
Yeah.
It has a
right, but we don't know what
Kenwood.
She brought up an interesting point because there's a smart harness in there. So we use PAC or we use iData.
Correct.
Okay, and both of those use an external speaker. Metra prides itself on not doing that. So the only thing, like Metra would put a beep through the signal, but you would also cut audio when it did that. So that's what I'm saying. If you were just plugging directly into the amplifier, that would forego.
Yeah, you bypass the whole thing.
Bypass all of that.
But then what?
Well, then we know that it's something upstream.
Yeah.
At least figuring out where to start. We got to have a start point, right?
Yeah.
So, how can I run my phone directly to a DSP via SPDIF input and still keep CarPlay through head unit 2021 so you'd have to have a DSP that allowed you to do that. Stream. Okay, so that'd be something with your specific DSP. And then you connect to both units at the same time. You can go into your phone and tell the phone in the CarPlay app what each one of those things are, and it will stream your data to the radio, and it'll stream your audio to an audio uplink. So that's actually not that hard to do. The hardest part is figuring out which DSP you have and if they make a digital input of some kind. So that would be where you'd start. On Saturday, you mentioned using a head unit amp for rear speakers and focusing the external amp on the front stage. Can my Alpine ILX 507 internal amp be bridged to send more power to the rears? No, no. IC power amp cannot do that. No. And honestly, I wouldn't try that with an Alpine. You really don't have the control that I mean, you have crossovers and you can probably do it with fader. Like, yeah. But no, you can't bridge. The whole idea is we don't need the rears. So we don't want more power to them. We want less power to them. We don't even want it. We don't even care.
Correct.
Look at Melissa. She's on fire.
This girl is on fire.
Okay. Can you get a good front stage upgrade with a 4-channel amp and tweeter and mid-range, 5-channel amp bridged on mid-bass, and 1-channel and sub? Yeah. So, I mean, essentially what you're doing is you're creating 6 channels of audio, 7 channels of audio. So you want a 7-channel amplifier. So you're using a 5-channel bridge to the... We used to do that in the Honda Accords. We'd run a 1005, Rockford 1005, and the 404. And we put that into an Alpine DSP that had the power on it. And so we'd take the Rockford T404, the Mini, which might be the same thing he's having an issue with. Anyways, and run that for the tweeter in the mid, and then the mid bass would, so bridge it and do all those fun things. But yeah, 4-channel, 5-channel to create a 7-channel. Just got to make sure that the mid bass you're running are 4-ohm mid bass. That's the most, because if you try to bridge 2 channels of the amplifier and the mid bass is a 2-ohm, something like a K2, because the Focals, the K2 mid bass is actually 2-ohm. I know, right?
What?
It's hence the 2 in K2.
Wow.
I know. Let me just zoom right over here and let's take a look at the Focal page because, I mean, why not? Hey, this next section was brought to you by the fine folks at Focal. If we head over to Focal, hide that for a second. If we head over to Focal America, focal-america.com. There again, right here on the top, we got this cool crawler that's going through and showing us, ooh, those are the M's. And then we have the slate fibers, which are the new hotness. Then we have some auditors, as well as Focal inside plug-and-play kits available for a lot. And then we have the flax, which are what's going. And then we have the top of the mountain, the Utopia M's right there. Anyways, if you scroll down, you have some the latest information you can check out, as well as if you come over here to product line. And let's just hit the performance because I'm all about that. Last week, we looked at the slate fiber. And we'll look at it again here because one of the cool features about this is the way the crossover, as you can see here, it's 2-piece crossover. So it allows you to do a pretty version of the candy bar. So we can run just the tweeter crossover for the tweeters and just the mid-range for the mid-bass, but we can split those apart. Hey, if you're bored, make sure you head over to focal-america.com. I don't know, I just kicked you out.
Yeah, as soon as you press it.
I just kicked you out, yeah. Head over to focal-america.com and check them out. Just peruse through the website and see what you can come up with. And, maybe there's something there for, a loved one, possibly, or to have they always ask you, what do you want for Christmas? I hate that question. I want it all. Okay, is the Kenwood 9907 XR need CD the best choice for a 2017 Mustang GT with a JBL DSP, which, by the way, you already tuned? Yeah. I mean, if you need a CD player, man, that's it.
I know, yeah.
You pretty much
narrow
that one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's good.
Go for it. If you got to have a CD player, why? I know what happens. I know DVC sub need to utilize both coils. Could a 4-ohm DVC be hooked up with a stereo amp with left and right outputs feeding one voice coil? Yes, they can. But keep in mind, it's going to be the 4-ohm rating. So you can put So this is the joke, right? So if you have an amplifier that's 50 watts by 4 at 4 ohms, you're going to put 50 watts to this amp, 50 watts to this. I'm sorry, 50 watts to this coil, 50 watts to that coil, 100 watts. If you make it an 8 ohm subwoofer and bridge the amplifier and put it, you're going to get 100 watts. So it's the same either way. It's the same power either way. 4 ohm stereo, 8 ohm mono, or 8 ohm, 8 ohm mono. It's the same amount of power. But yes, you can do that. You can put one on each side. That was really one of the reasons why the dual voice coil existed in the first place, was for old school home audio. You wanted to add a subwoofer, you take a left channel, put it on one voice coil, right channel, put it on the other voice coil, and that would give you that mixed mono signal to the subwoofer so that you could then add a subwoofer to your home audio system. Crazy, right? Now it's all easy, and that's all been lost to the time. Nobody cares anymore.
Super crazy.
I know. Hey guys, on Saturday you talked about the Arc Audio Moto C6. My question is, would you use the Moto C6, or will the Arc Audio X2 602 speakers be fine in the rear fill of an F-150? I would not. Okay, unless you had something similar in the front doors, I would just put the X2 602s in the rear doors. Because remember, the goal is not to make the rear the loudest thing in the world, unless the people you're driving around in the back of the car really want to be like lit on fire.
Right.
Otherwise, no, I would just stick with the regular 602s, put them in the back door, coaxials down, fine. Yeah. I mean, if you got loudspeakers up front and you're like, I need some, like, I don't know, whatever. I need something. Then in which case, yes, then it would be a great choice. Yeah. Otherwise, no.
Stay in your lane, right?
Yeah. Great questions tonight, guys.
That was good.
Love this. Love it. All right, Fernando, give it to me. Okay, what is he saying? Hold on. I got that. I was looking at this one.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I got that one too.
Oh, you got it? Okay, because I didn't see the star next to it. After doing some research, I decided to use the Key 200 amplifier for my 2008 F-150 regular cab. I want to thank you for the videos with this product. Hopefully down the road, I will get a sub. Fantastic, Bob. I'm glad we can help you on that one. That is definitely one of our most popular videos. Is it safe to run a fan power wire to my amp remote wire and then to my head unit remote 12 volt? No, it is not. It is not safe to do that at all. No. If you want to do something like that, you need to use a relay. A fan draws way too much amperage on that circuit. That circuit now on a radio is like a half amp. That's it. Because most of these amplifiers, you could, they take like a third of an amp, and the amplifier will turn on. Almost no power required to turn on an amplifier nowadays. So those circuits don't have power at all to power a fan. However, if you take a standard Bosch style relay and you turn on the relay with it, I would go on Amazon and pick up like a 10 amp relay instead of the bigger automotive ones. Get the micro relays, because what happens with the bigger Bosch ones, they're so noisy, and then when they every time you turn them on, you can hear the click. Whereas you get the micro ones, little 10 amp micro ones, those are way nicer. You can usually pick up a box of diode protected relay, 100%. And some of those little ones you can buy that already have their on the circuit board with the diode in there. The reason why Brad is talking about the diode is because you don't want it to back feed into the radio, and then the radio's remote turn on section blows. And it's anyway.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, some of the relays do have diodes built into them, but yes, I would pick up the small 10 amp relay, have it turn on. The other thing you could do too is just hook it up to accessory. Then you don't have to deal with any of this. So run another wire, hook it up to accessory current, put a toggle switch on it, because sometimes you're not going to want the fan. That would make more sense. But yeah, just leave remote turn on alone. It is designed to do one thing. And the smarter move, like I said, is if you run an accessory wire and put a toggle switch on it, it would be better. Because during the winter, you don't need a fan. I don't know where you're at in the world, but in the wintertime, I don't need to move around cold air. That's pretty, yeah. But for sure. Right. I like how Brad just immediately said, diode, out of nowhere, Brad's eating French fries, having a good time. And he's like, oh no, diode isolate that thing. Well, there again, believe it or not, most modern amplifiers are now, that's one of the testing they have to do is the remote turn on section, because we know about a particular vehicle that was built and they put a big dumb switching and it blew up all the prototype amplifiers because they were like, why did you put this in?
What was that one?
No, I'm not going to tell you. You know which one it is. And like, why? Well, because you said we needed it. I'm the engineer who built it. Why did you ask me? What kind of RMS power have you guys ran to a Focal PF30? Have 2 bridge channels of a Mosconi 1, 610, 250, or a whole 250 times 2, 608 using aerospace 6 to 12. What is the PF30? Okay. That's a 12-inch of some kind. Hold on. You got it? It's definitely a...
Let's see who wins. I win!
That's
the flax.
Oh, that's a nice one. I'm going for more power.
So what kind of amplifier is that?
250 or a whole... So he's got a Mosconi 1, or he's got the 252. I would do the 252. Here's the thing, man. Like always, I want power. I want power, and I want to be able to turn my power down.
100%. Okay.
All these amplifiers have gain controls and level controls and all the other fun stuff built into it. It's better to have the power and go. Let me just. Ooh.
Because normal power in that one is 400 watts, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you don't need to go. I would do that.
I would do the
because you're not going to be happy with the 250.
Yeah.
The 252 you'll be happy with. The 250 watts you won't be happy with.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So hang on. Look at that. See, he's not eating.
No fries, drinking coffee. Of course, he's drinking coffee.
Coffee, exactly.
Yeah, but what kind of coffee is it?
Doesn't matter. It's coffee.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick one while you're looking. Hey guys, since I can't seem to sell my Audison SR 4.300, should I just use it for rear speakers and use the 12.4 bit to power the front three-way? Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, so
if nobody is going to buy it,
you actually don't have to bridge it. Even though you could just use 2 of the channels, or there's a lot of things you can do with it. Okay, so, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? So if you want to be really silly, instead of bridging it, I don't know what kind of vehicle you're going to put it in, but if you're going with the coaxial in the rear and you want to be really silly, well, you won't have the crossovers though. You might though. You could also amp a set of coaxials with it, instead of like bridging it to run it not natural power. You could just take your 12 or 13 and 14 output and put it into inputs 1 and 2, select inputs clone to 1 to 3 and 2 to 4. And then if there's a cap on the tweeter, fine, run another set of wires into the door and go active. Active rear speakers.
I mean, that's a lot of work.
That way, it is a lot of work, but the nice thing is I now get level control. So if I want to mute that tweeter down,
for sure,
I can do that, and it just gives me more control.
You have options.
Or Melissa posed another option, which is actually good. She says, bridge the Audison to the mid bass and the front door. That is actually a really good idea because now we're actually using that amplifier's power to do something useful.
A lot of power.
Look at her. Dude, she's on fire tonight.
Yeah.
She's on fire. But no, that's actually also a really good idea too, because the Audison doesn't have a ton of power, and that'll give you way more power to your mid bass.
100%.
I like her. Okay, go with her idea. Screw my idea. Go with hers. Hers is way better.
What's up, Bill?
What's up, Mr. Clean Bill of Health?
Clean Bill. Oh, that's
Clean
good.
Bill. Yeah,
Clean Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said Clean Bill of Health. Ding ding.
Love it.
30 minutes to go, says the keeper of time. Thank you. All right, hold on. I'm going to pull this up. Opinion on the Key 200.4, CXA 800.1, and a preloaded downfire box crew cab F-150. All of that will work if you do one thing in front of it all, which is you put the key lock. Okay, so if you go out channels 1 and 2 from the factory radio and you go into a key lock, okay, so you can DEQ the system, which is what you're going to need to do for the F-150, whatever. So DEQ the system with a key lock, 200.4 on the front stage, 800.1 on the subs. fantastic way to go. Like, but you want to use the key lock to straighten out the factory signal first, and then you can do all this afterwards. That way you can go with the 800.1. So normally do like a key 500.1, but clearly not enough power. The thing that makes the 501 so nice, though, is that it has the key lock built into it. Well, if you just put a key lock in front of the whole system, then it fixes everything. And any amp you put after that will be a key amp. So that solves your problem. Key lock, 200.4, 800.1 done. Life goes on. So.
How are we doing with the time?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna change to. I'm gonna just pull up this one here for a couple minutes. Mosconi, because I told everyone we talked about it. If we head over to Mosconi, will be our next, and we talked about it earlier. So I'll just pop this guy up here. And if we head over to Mosconi's webpage, okay, so Mosconi-America.com is the place to go. However, I'm a big fan of just going to Gladen. I go to Gladen.com because they have more up to date. So here, I can take a look at all my cool Gladen stuff. And if we go to Mosconi amplifiers, now as far as 8 channels go, because we've been talking about 8 channels, first off, we go to the Pro. All right, and if we scroll down, we got a bunch to choose from. We have the Pro 830 DSP amplifier right here. So that's an 8 to 12 AB class, smoking awesome amplifier. And then if we go back, and we'll go to Mosconi ones, we can scroll down here. And now if we click on the 8-channel button, we have the Mosconi 8 to 10. We also have a 6-channel, which is the 6 to 10. This is a great front stage upgrade going with a sub amp. All right. And then if we come back and we go to the Pico line of amplifiers offer a 4 to 8, a 6 to 8, and an 8 to 10. And then they have their new little Pico 1, which is the sub amp. Now, the sub amp has, you see right here where it says Pico 1 V2. This is the new matching amplifiers for the black that is just been released. I think it's going to start shipping here very soon. Anyways, there again, head over to the website, thumb through the page, check out some of the new speakers that have just come out. And yeah, so fun times. I recently bought a regular cab 2013 F-150 with the 4-inch screen. The 9500 ES allows you to run all outputs as front, high, low, and not outputs for rear signal. Correct. I'll use the K150 and the RR. How does that sound? Sounds great. Actually, the same system right now that you're talking about is in Fernando's car, the Volkswagen. We haven't put the video out for it yet. That'll hopefully might be out before the end of the year. If not, you'll get it first part of next year. But yes, the 9500 is in his Taos, and we're running a set of Morels. So we have Morel on the active. So front is on front, mid bass is on the rear. The radio's set up that way. No sub at the moment. But yeah, sounds great. Yeah. Sounds great. He likes it. He's not a rear speaker guy, so he was like, screw that. We just haven't had time to put a sub in it. And this was
make rear speakers?
Nobody makes rear speakers.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
No. It's as he says, it's a communist plot.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, no rear speakers.
Okay. Hang on. Right there.
Saludos Caballeros. I saw them last night.
Yeah?
The 3 Caballeros. Yeah, they're up on stage singing Feliz Navidad. Yeah, it was weird because their mouths were moving. That kind of freaked me out. I'm like, are their mouths moving?
Where are the tacos, bro?
Yeah. Curious to know if there is any sound implications to bridging an amplifier for a sub versus using a mono amplifier. Thanks. Ooh. So this is one of those cool questions you'd probably want to have Brad on to talk about the idea behind bridging an amplifier as opposed to pre-bridging an amplifier or just running a mono amplifier. The reality is when it comes to subs, probably not much in the way of sound problems because the sub is easier to do. Now, when we're talking about highs, yeah, in some cases, it could do a lot. Some of these amplifiers that have the 2 ohm rating and bridged at 4 ohm rating, they suck at those and they sound like absolute trash. So, you know, if you're going to buy an inexpensive amplifier and then bridge it and be like, yeah, I'm going to run off. No, don't do that. Don't do that at all for your highs. Your subs, yeah, you can get away with it. No problem, because they're subs. They can handle a certain amount of just to them that won't hurt them because they're much bigger and can handle way more wattage and more heat. And like we've been selling amps forever that you bridge and, you know, you stack the channels and it works fine. But we've also, in more modern times, we've had some amplifiers come in that were like, yeah, let's bridge this on the mid bass. And then we've been like, let's not bridge these on the mid bass. Like, this sounds terrible. Like the amp was not made to do that, even though they gave you the power rating. And you're like, well, these guys suck. So, and there again, they're usually cheaper amplifiers. The more expensive amplifiers,
you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, because like we just talked about, Melissa just came out with a great idea of bridging.
Yeah, and that's
the 4-channel.
SR. Yeah, and that's a fantastic amplifier 100%. To do that with.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these other amplifiers, not so much.
Right.
But
all right, this one is a good one.
I'm gonna tag this one right here because that's a great question. Amp Pro tuning with computer link, or just leave it set to how they send it to you. All right, so what Matt is referring to is when you get an Amp Pro, that's the interface that PAC sells that allows you to take your factory radio, and depending on car make and model, usually it's a premium audio system. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it'll recalibrate the radio into doing fun stuff. There is a piece of software you can plug into it, and you can go in and you can change the frequencies that your bass, mid, and treble adjust. So it gives you an option to change those. It doesn't allow you to do any tuning. It just gives you the ability to go in and change those 3 settings. I can tell you, after the hundreds of these things I've put in, I have never gone in and done that. Simply because why?
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm going into a DSP, so those just, no one ever uses bassman treble past that point. I like using the iData interfaces with the like a DSR1 or an ARC audio piece, because those allow you to map those buttons to do different things. So in the case of like a DSR1 or that, I can make subwoofer level bass, so I can turn my bass up and down. If I'm doing a DSR1, I can make one of them punch bass, so I can turn it up and actually activate punch bass instead of just having bass, mid, and treble. But to answer the question, no, we never adjust those. The only time we'll go into that is if there's a chime that isn't loud enough or it's too loud, like a backup sensor. That's it. That's the only time we'll ever go into those.
Here we go.
So Brad, while drinking his coffee, took a moment and said, Class D amps typically love to be bridged. Loads the supply equally. Okay, so there you go. But I will say, most Class D amplifiers are mono amplifiers, unless you're, getting some weird stereo amp. Well, all right. Well, I mean, in this, we're doing a Blackbird, so we're going to be bridging the Blackbird.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, very nice.
It is very nice.
It is so nice. It's so nice. All right.
You want me to wait?
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull. Did we already? No, we didn't.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So this next next segment is brought to you by the fine folks at arcaudio.com. So let's head over to their website and see what we can figure out, shall we?
Let's go.
Where the heck did I put it? There it is. Pop over to the website. The first thing that pops up is their Blackbird.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah. Boy, we tore this picture apart one day. And they have a nice scrolling thing. And then as we come down, car, motorcycle, DSPs. And it makes it real easy to choose. So just click on their latest news there on the bottom. This is the new website. So as we scroll down, we have simple enough. They give us really nice pictures. So we can come into speakers. And they're again, nice big picture of speakers. And now we can get an idea of all the lines of speakers that we have access to. The nice thing is they even put like the Moto series in it. So every speaker is available here to look at. So you don't have to jump around. You have the RS series, you have the ARC series, the X2. Then we scroll down, we have the Black series. Now the Black series is available only in limited because that is their older series of speakers. That has been replaced by the RS. This is what Brian runs in his car and most of the competitors. And that's actually Brian's A-pillar.
Brian's A-pillar.
And as we always say, the orange juicer there in the center. Big tweeters, 3-inch, 4-inch, 6.5. Lots of fun. Hey, and right over here, if you'll notice, you have a question, you need information, you want to buy it, it's right here on the top of the page. Hold on. There. Let me remove this. Sorry, I hit it. So right here on the top, you can log in, you can check out, you can get some help down here in the bottom if you want to talk to somebody in the office. So from the most part, very fun page. And if you find something you like, A, you can buy it. And 2, if you got a question, you can ask. And more than likely, either Brad, Brian, or Fred will give you an answer. There are other people in the office, too.
Yes.
You never know. They changed the website. They move stuff around. It happens. We knew they were going to do it. Where is a good ground location, a 2018 F-150, or is it better to run a ground wire to the battery? I like how he said it's fun, but he meant run. So when we're doing an F-150, any F-150 that is aluminum, we always go directly to the battery. We use the Stinger marine wire, which is a dual run, red and yellow, all in one piece. It makes it real easy. It goes up the driver's side of the car, fits right in. And yes, we always go directly to the battery with the ground. Okay, when I say to the battery, you go on the opposite side of the voltage clamp. So you don't connect to the battery. There's the battery, there's a voltage clamp, and there's a nut. You go to that nut. So it's got you gotta go through
these nuts.
Yeah, go through that nut, not the battery nut. The power wire goes directly to the battery nut. The other one goes to the voltage clamp nut. You'll see it when you open the hood. There's a little tiny black thing. It's like that big, and there's all the wires are on the one end of it. You know, there's no, so it's like battery terminal. It's and then black thing and then nut. That's the nut you want, not here, because then it won't work. That nut, that one, right where you're pointing to. But yeah, easiest thing to do. Now, okay, this is one of those things where there's 3 ways to do it. There's the way where we go directly to the battery, which is all we do English, for many reasons, but that's what we do. There are some people that argue the point, and they're like, it's crap. You don't need to do it. Okay. And what they're doing is behind, when you're in the back of the car, if you go to either left or right side, up high by the window, when you pull off the side panel in the back and you pull the carpet forward, you'll see there's 2 factory ground points located, and they're on either side, and they're identical. That is the factory ground point for the rear of the vehicle. If you're going to be like, I'm lazy, that's where you have to hook it up. If you try to drill into the aluminum, you're going to get electrolysis, copper on aluminum, and it's going to just, and steel screw, boom, sucks. So you'd have to use that ground point. Now that ground point, some people say it's fantastic. I'm not going to chance it. The other thing that people do or have done in the past is they'll drill a hole through the aluminum. They'll go down to the steel frame rail. Okay, which we've done in the past a long time ago, and that's why we don't do that anymore. So some people do that. To me, with all the vendors and everyone we've talked to, it's just easier to go right to the ground. But you do what works for you. Hey, it's our buddy Josh.
That's
Josh. Hey, it's me again. Just popping in to say I hope 2 of you, my favorite dudes in Clearwater, are having a super solid Monday night. Okay, bye.
Same, buddy. Same.
Hold on. Would you say the key lock is necessary for a non-amplified factory?
Yes. Next one.
Yes. Yeah. That's why we had that whole conversation earlier. Listen, the newer Fords, 100%. If you got like a 2014, 15, and all right. If you're just doing a 204 on one of those 14, 15, 16 F-150s, you're fine, okay? You need load resistors, but you're probably fine. There's not a lot of goofy stuff happening in that signal. But as soon as you want to add the subwoofer, in the case like the other person, they're going to use the CXA 800.1. There's no bass in that car. You need to DEQ that radio's bass output. So that's why it's just easier to throw a key lock in front of it. A lot of the F-150 videos we do are on older F-150s. And so we run a key 500.1 and a key 200.4. In that scenario, there's no reason for, we don't have to worry about the key lock. It's not necessary because they're older. There's no weird stuff going on in the signal. And the key 500.1 is fixing the bass problem for us because it has a key lock built into it. So in the case of the other person, they need to fix the signal for the 800.1. So you might as well just come out of it into both amplifiers and start with the cleanest piece of paper you can. Same question about places to ground, but new body style 2022 Tundra. So typically in a Tundra, we're putting our amplifiers underneath the seats. Okay. That's a Nissan. Oh, it's weird. I know, right?
I mean,
I know.
I'm like, we've been working all day.
I know, but I forgot it's a Nissan. I mean, we don't ever work on Nissans.
And this Toyota Nissan.
Anyways,
this Toyota Titan.
Typically, we put the amplifiers underneath the seats. Underneath the seats in the Toyota is there's a front frame rail that the seats bolt to. There's factory ground points on both the driver and passenger side. It's an M6 nut. Mm-hmm. In the 2022 Tundra, there's going to be a factory amplifier underneath the passenger seat. It's grounded there. What I like to do, and I've shown in the videos, is I unplug everything and then I rerun it and I move everything into the center console where there is another factory ground point, and I will reground the factory ground amplifier in the center console because there's a factory ground point there too, and they're all M6 bolts. But there's M6 holes all over Toyotas to put grounds in. They're in the back, they're under the seats, they're everywhere. So just look for a thread and it's going to be an M6 and you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I know.
All right. So this one is what we normally talk about, right? It's like he has a 5-channel amplifier with 2 set of any speakers, right? I don't know what kind of speakers, but he seems like he needs more voice. Can I add the 3.5s and connect it to the radio? I would say the opposite. I would just run the 4 channels into the tweeters and the mid basses and leave the rears into the radio.
Yeah.
So you get more voice in the front. So a lo que me refiero es pon los 4 canales a los tweeters y a los mid bass y deja las bocinas de atrás al radio. Y así tendrías un poquito más de audio en la parte de enfrente. Ya si quieres agregar las 3.5, pues entonces ya necesitarías un amplificador de 8 canales. Yo te recomiendo uno de 8 canales en realidad, si eso es lo que necesitas. Y el amplificador, el audio control es muy bueno, el nuevo.
Yeah, baby.
Pero 8 canales sería mucho mejor para ti.
No, it's not yet.
We
got 2 minutes. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
All right. So Juan says,
Juan.
Yeah, that's what I said. Juan delivers 100 watts. Does that mean 50 watts per speaker or 100 watts for both? This is a fantastic question. So if you, or when looking at specs on an amplifier, if you see, hold on. So we'll go over here, we'll go to amplifiers. Come on. And we'll scroll down to, let's just click on this one. Come on. I know, right?
Yeah.
Holy Jesus. Okay, there we go.
Read more. In there? Because Juan asked the question and then Jesus is going to answer it.
I mean, if Jesus moves any faster, yeah, I mean, specifications. Okay, so, which isn't a great example, but we'll use it anyways.
Okay.
So if we see this where it says 4 channels at 4 ohm, this is telling us that each channel is 150 watts. All right. And then 4 channels at 2 ohms is 180 watts. 2 channels at 4 ohms bridge is 360 watts. So that'll give us that information. But let me hold on. Let me go over here and let me pull up
me see if I, because I'm looking for something how most people word it, which is not that. Come on. Here we go. So now if I see this where it says 4 times 50 watts, that's telling me that I'm getting at 4 ohms, 50 watts per channel. Output 2 times 80 on channels 5 and 6. Okay.
Right. Hang on.
So this is telling us that.
Right there.
Okay.
Because thank you, Ken. Juan's first question was this.
Hi guys, when you hook up full range speakers in parallel, 4 ohm doors, amplifier states 2 ohm. Okay, so there again. Now let's go back to this Moto series, and it says right here, if I'm at 2 ohms, the channel on the amplifier is going to put on 180 watts. That's going to be 90 watts per speaker. Okay, so that's what that's going to give. It's going to give us 90 watts per speaker. Each 4 ohm load is going to get 90 watts. That's it. So, and there again, it's a loose translation of how that actually works. But if we go back to, yeah, so this one doesn't. So, and this one is showing us that this is power output 4 ohm is 2 by 80 watts, 5 and 6, 2 ohms stable bridged. So this one gets just all kinds of confusing right here. So bad example there. But whatever the power that it says at 2 ohms times, so if it's at 2 ohms, 2 by 200, that's 100 watts per speaker. It's 200 watts total is how that would be.
All right, move yours.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Is it that time?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. It's moved. All right. So this next segment is brought to you by the fine folks at ThinkwareStore.com. Hey, would you like to see a crazy video?
Yeah.
I mean, for the most
I
part.
would love to.
I mean, you can head over to their website, but we all know we've seen it. We've been there. We do a lot of it. But let's just watch a silly video. And this video is brought to you by Haley. That's right. We put these in her car. And soon enough, bro, this is like fishing in a barrel. I mean, right away, this idiot wants to ruin her day. And then the bad part, like, she literally had to stop. And then this idiot, dude, he gave her the stink eye at the light. Like, bro, what the hell?
I mean, it's just...
That's why people get shot. That's why people get shot.
Yeah. But right now, it's Christmas. And, you know, everybody's just hustling to go to get the Christmas and things like that. So having a dash cam actually help you if you have an accident. Hopefully not. But, hey, go to ThinkwareStore.com.
There's plenty to choose from. Pick one that fits your budget. The one in Haley's car is this guy right here, which is the new arrival.
Yes,
look at that.
Q
Oh, and it's on
200.
sale right now, 169 bucks with front and rear camera.
Yes,
dude, everyone should own one of these.
There you go. See?
I strongly recommend getting I strongly recommend getting the
OBD.
OBD2 adapter.
Yeah,
makes installation a breeze. Simply at that point, it becomes plug and play. How much more could you ask for?
Plug and play.
Sorry, if you guys have been asked this to death already, Alpine ILX F511 or Kenwood 1037 going into 2017 Silverado non-Bose feedback. Okay, hold on. Have been asked that a bunch of times. However, I might have a better option for you that is going to look the coolest. What year is it? 2017. I think this is what works. If I get one more pop-up on this page, that'll make this perfect.
Well, that's what it is.
I know. It's just like, okay, come on. There we go. Where's it at? Come on, give it to me. I know it's, wow, it's not, oh my gosh, pop-ups are crazy.
I mean, it's holidays,
Did they not? There we go. Don't they have the dash kit for that? I guess not.
Which one?
Oh my gosh.
2017? Yes, they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell because this is just,
well, just go to.
I don't even know how to like.
If you go to Stinger.com.
Yeah, but okay, hold on. Let's just go. Let's try it this way.
Yes.
Dude.
Packaudio.com.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that was so bad. I mean, I don't even know, like, that alone would make me not want to go to their website.
Well, I mean, you just jump ahead.
I tried to keep it simple. All right, there we go. 2017. All right, boom, search. Boy, internet is just like dragging ass today.
5 minutes countdown.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. I got it. All right, so here we go. So check these bad boys out right here. Ooh, these are way cooler. So this is the new Horizon 10 or the High 10 dash kit specifically for your truck. Look how sexy that looks. Way cooler.
It looks like it came from the factory.
It looks like it came from the factory.
Plug and play.
Boom, right there. So keep in mind, you still got to buy the head unit. But I would, if it were me and I had that truck, I would go with one of those because I think those look the coolest in your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find those at pack-audio.com. And then you can go buy it at stingeroffroad.com. Good luck with that. Or call Paul and he'll ship them to you. So
what was in...
Sorry, if you guys... Yeah, so that... Okay.
Is another question in there?
Okay, sorry if you guys... I got that. Going into Silverado 17.
Yeah, okay.
Feed.
So, yeah.
Okay, so... Now, the other thing you could do... Okay, so you're feeding an LC 61200. I'm assuming you already have the AC 61200. If you haven't bought the AC 61200 yet, if you go with the... Holy Jesus. If you go with the new Horizon 10... The Horizon 10, you can plug the D. So if you go with this guy... Ooh, boom. If you go with this, the Horizon 10, you can actually plug your audio-controlled DSP directly into it and control it from the face of the radio. So that is one of the cool features with the new Horizon 10 is that the audio-controlled DSP is plugged directly into there. So something to think about. Either way, one of those two.
All right, guys, so that's it.
Over here trying to keep dinner hot. Oh, she's rough, man. We still got 3 minutes, man. Relax. All right, what is so sad to say I have two JL C7 6.5 inch bridge them. I have done the same on my C3 rears, and those are holding seems to handle the power much better. Thank God for warranties. Ooh, I hate warranties. It's like definitely. Thanks, guys. Already have the AC 61200 installed. Yeah, but there again, the nice thing is if you go up for the Horizon 10. The D61200 is the exact same wiring as the LC61200. So if you decide like you want to update one day, you're already done. Just unplug one, plug the other one in.
The High 10 and the Horizon.
No, you want the Horizon.
Yes.
The Horizon
what
10.
You say there?
No, what I said is if he buys the Horizon 10, if he the LC61200 and the D61200 are the same plugs. So you can just pull one amp out, put the other amp in if he ever decides he wants to. So anyways, I have an Alpine R components, the last version, the latest version. Do I use the pre-installed crossovers or bypass and use crossovers on amp? Okay, my guess is you're going to want to install the crossovers that come with the speakers, not bypass them. Especially if you're just using an amp, the only time you would not use the factory crossovers that come with the speakers are if you're doing some form of a DSP to where you're going to be doing a channel on each speaker that will have its own crossover in it electronically, not electrically. You're going to set up with a laptop. If you have, like, say, a amplifier and you have a passive crossover and then you have a tweeter and a 6.5, that passive crossover has to go in there. Okay, that's what makes sure the tweeter plays tweeter and the mid-range plays tweeter. Now with the Alpine, it's a cap. It's a shrink wrap thing to go to the tweeter, and then the mid-range it's built onto the speaker, I believe. So unless you're going active, which you know you're going active, then keep the passive crossovers in there. Otherwise, you will blow them up, the speakers that is, and then you'll be sad, very sad. So leave them in. Leave them. Now you do need to turn on the crossover in the amplifier, because the crossovers that come with the speaker provide a bass limiter for the tweeter, and the crossover for the mid-range is a tweeter, a high-frequency limiter for the mid-range. So Basically, what that means is it keeps bass from getting to the tweeter, and it keeps tweeter sound from going to the mid-range. You need to keep bass from going to the mid-bass. So turn on the high-pass filter in the amplifier, turn it to like 80, and then you should be fine, unless you listen to just house music and are playing it really loud, in which case turn up to maybe 100, 110.
So this is the second question.
I'm getting 3 volts at the LCI probe, trying to hit the target 28 volts at the amp outlet, but the clip light on the amp turns on at 20 volts. Yeah, that means the amplifier isn't doing the power that it's supposed to be doing. So here's the thing. Not all amplifiers tell the truth. I don't know what kind of amplifier it is, but it might not be able to put out the amount of wattage that you're trying to get out of it. So if you have the LCI maximized to where it is not, you're getting a perfectly clean signal out of that into the input of the amplifier, and then you're turning your volume up on the amplifier, and it's clipping before it gets to 28 volts, that means the amplifier is not capable of doing that. Now, the gain on the amplifier is designed to match the input voltage. So whether if you're at a 0.5 volt or you're at 8 volts, the amplifier doesn't care. It's going to put out wattage no matter what. That is input sensitivity, not output potential, okay? So if you can't get to 28 volts by turning it up before it clips, that means that it doesn't matter. The amplifier just can't put out 28 volts.
All right, this is the last question, guys. That's it.
Eating Gents forced to integrate into the MDX factory amp. I'm using most of the factory speaker locations for my aftermarket speakers. Any suggestions where I should mount the factory what? Any suggestions where I should mount the factory speakers? I don't understand the question.
So you're replacing your factory speakers.
Factory speaker locations.
I'm guessing mounts.
Any suggestions where I should mount the factory? Why would we mount the factory speakers? I don't understand the question, man.
Sorry.
I know, it's okay. I don't understand the question. It's all right. I think Melissa tried to help him too. So bad last question.
Yeah, well, that's it. Just done.
Yeah, that was all right. Turn off your thingy there.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
So I'd like to thank you guys so much for playing along with us tonight. You guys were great. You asked some wonderful questions. Most.
Yeah.
Some, not all. Don't forget, right now you can pick up your one of 12 IRTA combo packs. This guy right here. It comes with all of the cool things that you could possibly want. There's only 12 available. Use the coupon code STAR at checkout. You can find it at IRTA. You can find the IRTA at DNF Tool Drawer. Blah. Use coupon code STAR. R? Yeah, no, don't use code R. I don't know what you did there.
Dude,
that's
Jesus.
That's
Christ.
terrible, man. Yeah, good
Look.
job. I understand. I don't know what you're doing.
Star.
You guys have a great night, and we will see you back on Instagram, or we'll see you Friday morning for the news. Star. There you go. Way to go. Good job, buddy.
Oh my
You guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.